Roar!
Ew. Target practice by The Abyss. The third time's the charm.
Hey AJ, what's up?
Rainbow asked as she landed on a nice, thick branch sitting a good 10 feet above the farm pony. She stretched, and after a short yawn, she lounged back against the trunk of the tree, letting her legs dangle over the sides of the branch.
Nothing much, Sugar Cube,
Applejack replied, a bit peeved at the fact that Rainbow had just decided to take a nap in the tree that she was about to harvest.
How does she not notice all the empty bins below her? So, anything I can help you with today?
Nah, I just wanted to take a nap in one of your awesome trees.
Rainbow replied with another yawn. She shifted positions, scooting forward until she was able to prop her head up on the trunk.
I was gonna just use a cloud like always, but since it's so noisy around town today, I figured it'd be nice of me to drop by and say hey.
Yeah, you know, I was just about to work on harvesting these apples from the tree you want to take a nap in, Rob.
Applejack asked.
Would you mind moving over to one of the trees that I've already done?
Rainbow sat up as she thought about it.
Nah, I like this one here just fine. Come back to this one when I'm done with my nap, okay?
Propping her head up on her hoofs behind her, Rainbow smiled and closed her eyes, letting her tail flick about lazily as she tried to drift off to a nice, peaceful nap. Little did she know was that Applejack had other plans for her.
Alright, Apple Bloom, I'm gonna teach you an old apple family tradition, something that's been passed down from generation to generation. That's something called...
Applejack trailed off as she pointed a hoof at the sleeping rainbow-maned Pegasus, an evil-looking grin slowly forming on her muzzle.
Knock the rude sleeping Pegasus from the tray. Huh, this sounds like fun.
Apple Bloom sat happily, jumping up and down from excitement.
So, what do you want me to do?
She asked, her eyes flicking back and forth between her target and a bin stuffed full of rotten apples beside them.
First, I want you to practice on this here tree over yonder,
Applejack said, pointing to another tree with an empty bin perched on its side, sitting on a branch about the same height of the one that Rainbow was on.
While you do that, I'm gonna go and get something a little soft for our friend to fall into, so she doesn't get hurt when we hit her. Sounds good to me,
Apple Bloom said, her tail flicking back and forth in excitement.
So how do you do it? Well, it's pretty darn easy. All you have to do is grab it like this on your hoof, stand up on your back legs, and as you fall forward, chuck the apple as hard as you can. So, just like this.
Applejack grabbed an apple from the bin next to them and hefted it. Standing up on her back legs, she raised the leg with the apple in it, and as she fell forward, she threw the apple as hard as she could, smiling as it splattered all across the center of the empty bucket.
Wow, nice shot, sis,
Apple Bloom exclaimed, giving her sister a loving nuzzle.
Let me try. Huh, alright, just keep your voice down here. We don't want to go and wake up old Rainbow Dash there.
As her little sister started getting her form down, Applejack couldn't help but let a chuckle escape her as a devious idea popped into her mind. Instead of grabbing a few hay bales for Rainbow to land on, she decided to switch to a big old stinking pile of fertilizer, also known as cow poo, and a ton of other decomposing organic matter that she'd rather not think about. No longer trying to keep the sly smile from her face, Applejack bit down on one of the ropes attached to the big, smelly bucket and dragged it out from the barn, trying to keep the noise level down. She quietly closed the big barn doors, wincing whenever they squeaked. Breathing a sigh of relief when they shut with a click, Applejack grabbed the rope again and dragged the bucket to where her sister was still throwing apples, moaning and groaning at how horrid their fertilizer smelled the entire time.
Oh hey, what you got there, sis?
Apple Bloom asked, deciding to munch on the apple in her hoof.
Oh, nothing special, just our special reserve fertilizers that we use on the really unhealthy fields. I think it'd be soft enough for Dash, wouldn't you agree? Yep, although she might need to take a bath afterwards,
she said, pinching her nose shut as the wind's direction changed, giving her a full whiff of its awful stench.
Look, heavens to Betsy, what's all in there? Well, I know we got some cow dung, maybe some of Winona's droppings. Who knows? All I know is that it's good enough to break Rainbow's fall.
Applejack said with a chuckle. Looking up, she saw that most of the practice bucket was filled with partially splattered apple cores.
Huh, it looks like you've gotten it down pat. Want to show you old sis real quick? Sure.
Applebloom tossed her half-eaten apple away and grabbed a new one. She wound herself up and then hurled the apple dead center at the bucket, smiling as it hit with a resounding smack.
See? Nothing to it. That's right, Applebloom,
Applejack said.
Now give me a minute to get to see a bucket in a good position, okay?
She grabbed the rope in her mouth again and gently pulled it into position on the far side of the branch, hopefully where Rainbow would land. Trotting back to where her sister stood ready with an apple in her hoof, she said,
All right, try to hit her right on the noggin. That's the way to do it, got it? Got it,
Applebloom said confidently. Eyeing the sleeping Pegasus, she reared back and threw the first apple, frowning as it fell an entire foot short of her mark.
Hi, that's all right, Sugar Cube. Try again,
Applejack whispered, unable to keep the smile off of her face. She couldn't wait to see Rainbow fall into the disgusting pile of crap.
This'll teach you not to mess with me.
She watched in breathless anticipation as her sister reared back once more, her eyes never leaving the apple as it flew through the air. This time, Applebloom threw it so hard it flew right over Rainbow's head, only missing it by a few mere inches.
Almost there.
Applebloom grabbed one last apple and before she knew it, she said,
You know, I've got a good feeling about this one.
At that, she chucked the apple as hard as she could right at Rainbow's head. A moment later, it hit her smack dab right just under her ear. As her older sister cheered, Applebloom giggled as she watched Rainbow wake up with a start before she quickly lost her balance, falling right into the bucket of crap that had been so expertly placed under her.
Ah! What the hey is all this crap?
Rainbow asked as she shook her head, an old and rotten banana peel lying right in between her eyes. She looked down in disgust as a horrible, putrid smell suddenly slammed into her nostrils, making her reel back in horror.
Oh, hey, no, AJ?
She glared at her friend who was now laughing uncontrollably, rolling around on her back.
This isn't a big pile of cow crap, is it?
As Applejack started laughing harder, Rainbow shifted her gaze to Applebloom.
Did you have anything to do with this?
She asked as she climbed out of the bucket.
No.
Applebloom said as she pointed at her sister, trying to hide her grin with a hoof.
It was all her plan, honest. What?
Applejack asked, taking a break from laughing. She fearfully locked eyes with Rainbow, who was scraping her hoof against the ground much like a bull would who was about to charge.
Funny thing, AJ. I guess honesty runs in the family, yeah?
Rainbow said with a chuckle, shaking her wings to dislodge as much of the gunk as she could.
Now, you wanna see what it's like to be covered in crap? Come here, you!
Hello everyone, this is Visual Pony from Pony&Wolf Productions, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to this video. At this point, I want to thank all of our amazing patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel with their monthly donations and keeping the lights on around here. Now, more than ever, it is important that you support your favorite content creators, because due to YouTube's new content policy changes, we, along with other content creators, had to demonetize a lot of our most profitable videos. For us, those are the Fallout Equestria stories. As you can see on the graph on screen right now, our earnings per video used to be relatively okay, even though the earnings were never enough for a viable career. It was enough for a good, decent side income. Now we are struggling to pay our bills. If you want to support us for as little as $1 a month, you can do so by clicking on our Patreon link down in the description below. And you can get wonderful perks like, for example, early access to all of our stuff. Sometimes things like this are recorded months in advance. Voice acting lessons from me or Midnight if you really want to. And you can join our Patreon Discord server. Even though it may look like there's not much going on in there, I am actually checking it on the daily. Thank you for listening to this message, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day.